I'm Joe Sanok from practiceofthepractice.com and mentalwellnesscounseling.com. Hope you are having a great Tuesday. Wanted to talk with you a little bit about a couple things. So oftentimes, whether it's my clinical work or my consulting work, I see that people are having a hard time taking ownership of the crap that's in their life. So for example, maybe your spouse is saying to you, man, you are just so focused in on this area. You're just impatient with our kids. You're mad, you're whatever it is. Or in your personal business, maybe there's some negative behavior. So the first thing to think of is, what do my friends and family say about this when I'm just like not in a healthy place? So for example, when you have a stressful day at work, I come home, I am stressed and I'm impatient with the kids and I have high expectations for what's supposed to have gotten done at home. So when that happens, let's label that first behavior just impatience. So what then is the situation that fuels this, the negative behavior? This isn't an excuse. It's just kind of saying, here's what's going on. Because if we understand the situation that surrounds this negative behavior, it's a lot easier for us to work on it. So for example, when I have a day at work where I feel like I don't have any time even to go to the bathroom or to eat lunch, and I've worked really hard and I come home and the house is a mess, I'm frustrated, I'm impatient. Now, then we need to ask ourselves, well, what actions should we take in that situation? So for example, in that situation, if I come home and the house is a disaster, I should probably get my own behavior under control. I should take some deep breaths. I should, maybe even on the drive home say, whatever state the house is in, you know what? That's what it is. We can take action as a family, but me being impatient is not going to help the situation. And so you do some positive self-talk on the way home. You look at the house, you walk in, things are a disaster. Okay, well, in that situation, what other actions should I take? Well, maybe I should ask some non-biased questions like, how was the day? What's going on? How can I help? Approaching the situation in a way that actually builds connection with those that I love. And then as I think forward of, well, how do I help this problem in the future? Maybe it's that I teach my kids to blitz with me. And so we do something in our house where our girls will go in one room and I'll say, go put this in mommy's pile, go put this in daddy's pile, go put this in Lucia's pile or Lakin's pile. And then everyone puts their own piles away and the house looks clean really quickly. It may not be deep clean, but it's somewhat clean. So coming up with these actions then that you can take ownership, because so often we point to our spouses, we point to our kids, we point to other people in our lives, and we say, if they change, then I'm going to be happier. But in reality, you're always going to be with you. Whether you stay with your spouse, whether you get divorced, whether you have a new spouse, whether you have new kids, that happiness is going to follow you. And one of the biggest keys to happiness is that you take ownership for the kind of life that you want to live and to take those actions, and don't expect other people to change. There's a great book called The Scream-Free Marriage, where the analogy that they use is that your family life is like a campfire. If you change one element, it's going to diffuse everything. So if you change the oxygen, the fuel, the spark, that's going to change everything. So the more that you take ownership of your own happiness and you work on your own self, where you can be more grounded and centered within your family, within your business, within your relationships, the easier it is going to be happy. So then after we do those things, we want to think, what's going to get in the way of these actions? And so it might be that you need to set up reminders for yourself. Maybe the last thing in your calendar for the day before you come home is that, take a deep breath, just come home grounded, come home happy, take a deep breath and enjoy your family. Having some sort of triggers that really help you make the best decisions. And then the last thing is, what would your life look like if you actually took these actions on a regular basis? If you did these things on a regular basis, whatever that was in step 3 of what actions you should take, what's the result of those? Because the way that we look at our future self is the same way that our brains look at strangers. It's a totally different person. They actually found that with retirement planning, that if they put the picture of a person now at the top of their retirement planning, they don't have any extra actions. But if they have an aged version of the person where they see themselves as an older person, people take more action. We need to be able to visualize what's actually going to happen as a result of us taking actions to improve our lives. So when you think about that, put that in your calendar on repeat. Remind yourself, if I feel connected with my kids, if I'm happier, if I'm connected to my spouse, if I do all these other things that are going to impact my life, if I take different actions in my business, here's the results that I know will happen. That's going to fuel this entire thing. So good luck. Would love to see in the comments the actions you take as you set up a system like this. What are the problems that you know you need to address? then what fuels that problem, and then what actions are you going to take on a regular basis to address those. Have an awesome day. Thanks for letting me into your ears and into your brain. Have a good one. Bye.